a lot of, the guys that I work with, the older guys, they all complain the same way. And it's that all the kids nowadays, they're great athletes, they flip all over the place, but nobody sells anything. Jim, what is your I don't think I've ever talked to you about it. What's your take on like kind of the new, more acrobatic wrestling?
Circus Soleil.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what people want now. That's what people like. I mean, imagine going out there and grabbing the headlock. Me and Bruiser Brody in a headlock. 1,001, 1,002. Boo, boo, boo. So you do it. The pendulum swings, and I think it'll swing back like it was, for a while, like when Edge was in there and they was humping Lita on the bed and all that. And that's actually how I got back into WWE because WWF was my heyday, but I did work in WWE. So my joke. I said the WWF, I worked with Dusty, DiBiase, and Norton. In the WWE, I worked with Dusty's kid, DiBiase's kid, and Norton's kid. First, I beat up the old man, then I beat up the kid.
And now one of those kids is the champ.
Yeah, Cody. But what was going on, Edge was with Lita, and they brought me in. WWE brought me in one day, and I got the 2x4. I just come out through the curtain, and I give him the ho, or maybe I said she's a ho, and the whole place went ho. I came back through the curtain. They're like, Duggan, come here.
Right.
We might bring you back, you old bastard. I'm like, oh, right.
Next thing you know, you're back on the road.
Back, I'm working with Eugene. I was working with Super Crazy, and I had a nice second run as an old timer, which was good because I got to appreciate the company as a huge company it is. When I was in WWF, we were working all the time. You fly into a town, you go to the hotel, you go to the gym, you go to the arena, you go to the bar. As an old timer, I had a whole different perspective. There's a pullover view. I'm like, oh, okay, let's pull over. Back in the old days, it's like, hey, party, whoa, hey, But it was nice to go back and get a whole new perspective on the business and appreciate what the huge powerhouse wrestling is. I mean, the NFL, the NBA, all that stuff. Right? Nobody knows Tom Brady down in Christchurch, New Zealand. But they'll go, ho, all over the world. I mean, it's amazing. It's humbling.
And this will be my last one because I just thought of this. I'd love to hear your take on it. I was traveling with Tommy Dreamer not all that long ago, and he's a
Tommy's good guy.
He's a great guy, and he loves Mid-South wrestling. Huge Mid-South fan. And he and I were talking about it because I was telling him how I work with you and all the other guys, and so we were just chit-chatting about how fun the Mid-South days were. And I asked him, I was like, Tommy, nowadays, modern wrestling, obviously things have changed a lot. I was like, do you think that Mid-South wrestling, that style of wrestling, would still get over today in front of a modern crowd? And he said, I think so, because storytelling is never going to get old. Jim, what do you think?
Yeah, probably, but not to the extent that all the glamour and the excitement and the fireworks and all that. I mean, it's more like I said, it wasn't Hogan; it's the package coming to town. So I think that was a moment in town. I think there's an audience for that. And that's why so many small independents do so well. There's up in New England Championship Wrestling, I believe. I was up there down in There's a lot of good independents around up there in Philadelphia. And that's where you get the storytelling. You set up the show, the angle that night. Well, next week or next month, we'll be back to finish this. It's old school. But I don't think it'll ever be the broad appeal that that the package has nowadays with all the music. But Mid-South, the guys would all travel together. Hey, how about this angle? How about that? How you try this? I try that. It was a great time in wrestling, and many people enjoy that Mid-South stuff. So if you get a chance, check out Real Hacksaw Duggan highlights, man. And it's got all that Mid-South stuff. Boyd Pierce, the announcer, Bill Watts, he calls me Duggan all the time just to kind of give me a shot. He's the boss. What are you going to do?